Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have you back. At this moment, I'm at the Ibis Budget Hotel in Whitechapel, London, which provides quite an interesting backdrop. However, I couldn't let the opportunity pass without commenting on the latest developments at Celtic. Although I'm on a trip involving some fight events further south, my commitment to sharing my observations remains strong. Over the next 10 minutes, we'll focus on Celtic. Don't expect elaborate edits, charts, or transitions. I only have a tripod, a microphone, and my phone's camera, so I'm delivering this content in the most authentic way possible. Celtic currently holds a 13-point lead at the top of the Scottish Premiership, following a solid performance against Hearts over the weekend. There are several narratives to explore and statements from the manager to analyze, making this a very positive situation. It could have been even better as we were close to extending our advantage recently, but some late goals at Dens Park changed the dynamics. Nevertheless, securing 4 consecutive victories is a remarkable achievement, and this streak has been going on for quite some time. The performance last weekend was crucial, as it not only showcased a strong display, but it also brought a sense of calm to the fans, helping to alleviate the disappointment from the recent Derby defeat. This result was essential, especially considering that Hearts were in good form and could have gained momentum at Celtic Park, particularly after the successful strategies employed by our rivals. However, Celtic responded effectively. Although the first 5 to 10 minutes were a bit slow, which raised some concerns, the most crucial aspect was the outcome of the match. Securing a 30 win with 3 goals scored and none conceded, especially amid injuries affecting key players like the first choice goalkeeper and defenders, is significant. Given the challenges faced in recent weeks, delivering such a performance to achieve the desired result was extremely important, providing the reassurance many fans have been seeking after a worrying display in the derby. Additionally, it was encouraging to see some players returning to their best form. After the disappointing performance against rivals in the derby, one player showed a much more typical display against Hearts. The captain appeared much more confident and comfortable, and this confidence spread throughout the team, particularly in the defensive line. The recovery of these players is essential to improve the team's performance as we move forward. Looking back at the performance expected against Hearts, the captain seemed far from his usual standout performance. He appeared more relaxed, and the confidence between him and his partner was evident. One of the most notable performances during the Hearts match was from a player who truly needed a game like that. He finished with an assist and could have added another had his first attempt been converted. It's a relief to see him performing at such a high level again, especially after the numerous questions raised about him in recent weeks, ever since the clash against another top club. Reflecting on the situation, I realized that since that game, there had been 3 or 4 matches with below-par performances that led to discussions about a potential transfer in the summer. Our fans tend to be quite reactive and hard to please, with opinions shifting frequently. However, this player's performance was outstanding, and perhaps he really needed that boost to shine. The weekend revealed a player I would love to see in the team next season. I never seriously considered selling him, but it was encouraging to witness such a positive performance from him. Furthermore, several other players in the team had notable performances. It's also important to highlight the contributions of players who have been sidelined and weren't regularly playing. Both stood out, especially one who had 2 solid appearances and integrated into the group seamlessly, never falling short in his displays. While criticism can be made overall, one player had only 10 minutes on the field before a crucial game, and another didn't concede a single shot in his match. They've proven to be reliable options when most needed, and a player who may be moving on next season is trying to prove his worth to stay in the squad. One of the players, in an even more significant aspect, is seen as a potential starter at the club, and the coach briefly mentioned this, but we will revisit the topic soon. Overall, the weekend was positive for the team. It could have been even better, but there are topics to address in today's news that many are already familiar with. This is the moment to share some reflections. When talking about one particular player, we need to discuss the situation of a goalkeeper who is currently sidelined. The manager mentioned this after the recent game, but didn't provide many details. While we don't have elaborate charts to illustrate this, basically, he said we still don't know how long this goalkeeper will be out. We are unclear about the duration of the absence, but we know he's dealing with shoulder issues. We believe that in the next press conference we will get more clarification. What was reported last week is that he was about to undergo detailed medical tests. I'm not sure if this will be done by the club as he is expected to return to playing, but I assume it will still be done by the national team, possibly with the club's medical team involved as well, to ensure reports are available for consideration. However, so far there's no concrete information, but based on the manager's words, this goalkeeper's season could be over. Just from the tone and how he handled the situation. Don't take this as a definitive truth and don't claim I'm revealing exclusive information, because that's not the case. I've just heard enough from coaches to notice certain subtleties, and when they avoid specific details, it usually means bad news is coming. Therefore, I feel that this goalkeeper's season may already be over. I've noticed some patterns in the manager's statements, and vagueness in certain details typically signals that less favorable news is on the way, preparing us for a difficult revelation. There's a strong impression that the goalkeeper's season may be over, although there is a slight chance of an extraordinary return by the Scottish Cup final should the team manage to progress. However, it's unwise to count on that, but it's not a definitive outcome, something that's been reiterated in recent weeks. Another point that deserves attention regarding the weekend is the significant praise directed at the player who came on after the match against a specific opponent. It was emphasized that this player was brought in during a period of uncertainty about his place in the team, sparking debates about the need for more minutes on the field. Many on social media expressed that he deserves more chances, but the manager made it clear that the intention had always been for him to be a backup. The idea was for him to learn from one of the most prominent goalkeepers of the past decade in the UK, a player who clearly fits this profile considering his history, which includes being a league champion and winning a national cup, and he's about to add the Scottish top division to his resume. The expectation was that a young player like him, whose trajectory ideally mirrors that of the mentioned goalkeeper, would have this season to develop, learn, gain experience, and work alongside him before stepping up. The manager reinforced this point, explaining why the younger player hasn't been fielded as often as some would have liked. I've always believed that there were limited opportunities for him to be included thus far, especially because of another player's injury. There were calls for him to participate in several cup matches, but to win a competition, you need to play your best players. He finally had his chance in one specific game, which was a positive step forward, but the goalkeeper situation remains a concern. So far, there haven't really been chances for him to play, especially with the other player's injury. Many people have commented that he should have played in some cups, but to win a competition, you need to put the best athletes on the field. He had his chance in one game, which was a good sign, but there's no justification for the aforementioned goalkeeper to be kept off the field in the twilight of his career when he wants to win every match and play as much as possible before hanging up his gloves. There's a reason for this determination. Regarding the return, we don't have precise information on when that might happen, but the young player seems to be recovering well, and I was pleased with what I observed over the weekend. One player in particular has been the focus of our attention for some time, and this is no surprise. We've received updates on the likelihood of his stay, and the situation doesn't look positive. His words suggested that it's more likely he will leave than stay. This information came after the signing of a new starting left back, alongside the inclusion of another player in the summer, limiting the space of the player in question within the team. I wasn't surprised by this development. There was a moment when I thought he might have a chance, but as the season progressed, the likelihood of a contract renewal at this point was extremely low. If he wanted to stay, he would have made that clear by now and signed a new contract. A few months ago, there were talks about a contract offer and communication between the club and the player, and the manager basically stated that the decision is now in the player's hands. Therefore, hearing that he's likely to leave is no surprise. I can't blame the player. It seems to be the right choice for both sides. The club needed an upgrade, and they certainly got one with the new signing. The truth is the player simply doesn't compare to that level, and I say he's far from matching the current starter's quality. Taylor is set to depart, which comes as no surprise. This choice appears to be advantageous for both parties involved. The team has been in need of enhancements, and there has been a noticeable uplift with the arrival of a new player. To be frank, Taylor does not match that level, and it could be argued that he is not even equal to the current starter. His position in the squad has always been that of a secondary option, especially with another player now in play. If he aims to keep playing football and claim a starting role which he merits at this point in his career, then moving away from the team is entirely logical. This is conveyed with the highest respect and appreciation for his contributions to the club. Although formal farewells are still a few weeks away, there is acknowledgement of his decision as well as the club's willingness to facilitate this transition. He will leave with warm regards, as is customary for any player departing. While there have been challenging times concerning Taylor, he has generally proven to be a dependable member of the team. For the time being, it seems he is preparing to exit, and there is some uncertainty surrounding the situation of the current starter, particularly in terms of a possible permanent deal in the summer. It has been confirmed that there is a strong likelihood of his exit. This update is somewhat hurried given the need to get ready for an event this evening. There was a wish to express these thoughts while there was an opportunity. Regular programming will resume tomorrow night with a live session after returning home. The stream might occur a bit later around 9 o'clock featuring a live question and answer segment. Starting Wednesday, everything should revert to the usual rhythm for the foreseeable future, with no breaks planned until June. It will be refreshing to return to routine and fully engage in all activities. There is appreciation for the understanding shown over the past few days. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. In an unexpected twist that has sent shockwaves through the football world, whispers of $1 billion proposal from Qatar Airways for Celtic FC have emerged. Sources close to the negotiations hint at an offer so lucrative it could change the course of the Scottish club's future. What started as a quiet rumor has quickly escalated into a frenzy of speculation, leaving fans, experts, and insiders scrambling for details. But what exactly does this deal entail? The potential agreement would see Qatar Airways, the global airline giant headquartered in Doha, take an unprecedented step into the footballing world. With its extensive network spanning over 170 international destinations, Qatar Airways has already proven its financial might. The offer, estimated to be worth a staggering figure, would not only elevate Celtic's financial standing, but could also reshape the landscape of Scottish football, adding yet another layer to Qatar's growing influence in global sports. As this story unfolds, questions are beginning to emerge regarding what Qatar Airways seeks to gain from this bold move. Is it purely an investment, or does it signal a new era for the club? Given Qatar's successful ventures into sports sponsorships, most notably in football with Paris Saint-Germain, their interest in a high-profile club like Celtic could be a game-changing move in terms of global exposure. However, the ramifications for the club's legacy, fan base, and future could be equally monumental. Celtic's hierarchy has remained tight-lipped, neither confirming nor denying the reports. Fueling the speculation further, fans are left wondering what such an influx of investment could mean for the club's future plans, including potential transfers, stadium expansions, or even a shift in management. The potential for new commercial ventures and international partnerships could open doors to global markets for Celtic. But with the promise of such a significant change, the questions keep piling up. As the clock ticks and the deal is rumored to be on the verge of conclusion, one thing is for certain: Celtic FC is on the brink of something monumental. Whether Qatar Airways' offer will be accepted and what it could mean for the club and Scottish football as a whole remains a tantalizing mystery. With the fate of this deal hanging in the balance, the football world eagerly awaits the next chapter in this high-stakes drama. Hello, fan! Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video, C fans.